All right. Check this out. So I want to talk about one of the most important things and one of potentially the biggest mistakes most guitar players do. Something that I unfortunately also did. And I want to share it because it's very important. So we're talking about how we can play melodies, play ideas that we imagine, that we hear on the fretboard with a lot of ease. Now, this is the problem. Okay, let's say you have a melody, and I'm gonna take a melody that a lot of people know. I'm gonna take Autumn Leaves. It's a jazz song, but it's a melody we know. It sounds like this. I'm playing it in the key of A minor right now. What's important here is that we have a sound, we have a color, we have a melody, a song that we like and want to play. Now, the problem for a lot of people is translating that into guitar, right? So you have a sound, you're like, okay, I know how this melody starts, how it sounds, but I can't find it on the fretboard. Oh, and of course the same goes for lines. What I'm trying to say here, or what I'm saying is that there is a disconnect. There is a disconnect between what you're hearing, what you're imagining, what you want to play, and what you play. And I have a very simple answer to kind of understand how to go about it, potentially to solve it. So if you want to get the most out of this lesson, there is a PDF with tab annotation on Patreon. There's also a 7-day free trial. You can check it out. There's tremendous amount of stuff there, PDFs, extra videos from the last few years. So there's quite a bit of stuff and it's very, very inexpensive. Check it out. Well, actually it's free, I guess. Check this out. We have a melody and we're talking about Autumn Leaves right now. The melody, the song that we're discussing right now is based in the key of A minor. I'm going to play in the key of A minor. The reason B is that we're using the white keys. We're using C major and A minor because these are the keys that it's going through. And that is extremely important because that gives us the framework, that gives us where the notes might be. Now, I've seen many people trying to find melodies, whether it's Happy Birthday or, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and they're taking the whole fretboard from here to here as an option to find the melody. Now, I understand why, because they don't know how it sounds and where it is. But, and this is where things get easier, if you understand the center, if you know the framework, if you have a position where the notes are, and you understand that most of the notes in this song are diatonic, and a lot of songs, a lot of melodies we discuss are actually diatonic. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal for us because we actually don't need to think about 12 chromatic notes or 12 notes. We can think about 7 notes, right? The C major scale, for example, has 7 notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And again, although you know that, to actually apply it is a different thing. So you need to think about the center. You need to understand on an emotional, you know, physical, spiritual level that the sound that you're looking for, you already have. If you have any subjects, any specific videos that you want me to do in the next couple of weeks, please drop a comment. I'm in a new studio that I'm super stoked about, and I'll be happy to create that. Let me know. Right, so check this out. We're trying to play the melody for Autumn Leaves. So I can start by understanding the C major scale. These notes are going to be probably around 95% of the song. Well, if we're thinking about the first section of the song, we can call it the A section. It only has 2 notes that are not in the C major scale, that are in the melodic minor, or the A melodic minor. So there are only 2 chromatic, quote-unquote, notes. The rest are diatonic, and that's a big deal. So the melody starts on a note A. And I can imagine the sound. Da, 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 da. And even if I don't know that it's going to the note F, I can try and look for notes around the C major scale and not potentially go to this note, right? Because this sounds different. Again, it's a nice note to itself, but in the context of C major 7 or C major scale, sorry, and in the context of this melody, it's wrong. Now, I'm talking about it in this way because understanding the melody being able to process it and being able to match it to a center is a big deal. So I want us to think about da 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 ooh, da 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 da. Right, that's the sound of the melody. Now, there are a few things that are happening specifically with this melody that I do want to talk about. This melody is what we call sequential. Now, different melodies do different things, but the exploration and diving into one melody can teach us a lot about music, and that is the beauty. I think a lot of people, again, this is a big mistake that a lot of folks do, is kind of jumping between subjects, right? So again, I know we're in YouTube and we're talking about something, but I really urge you, if you like music and you like guitar, it's really worth your time understanding this and exploring it and really paying attention. And I'm saying it because when I started playing music, I didn't necessarily do that, and I want to save this time for you. So when we're listening to a melody like this song, being able to do that is a big deal. So here we go. We have this melody, and you can hear the repetition. This color or this cell repeats. What I did now, I tried to play the same shape so you can visually see it. I would probably play it in the context of a position here, and this is a good position to play. It's probably a position you've seen before, the C major scale here from the 6th string, but I'm starting from the note A, La, Si, Do, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Re, Mi, Fa dièse, Sol dièse, Do. Now I'm saying the name of the notes and I'm kind of playing the chords around it, because what happens when we play songs and music, there is a beautiful interaction and relationship between the melody and the chords. The melody and the chords are symbiotic in a way, and a beautiful melody is very much connected and related to the chords. So what happens here with Autumn Leaves, again, in the key of, I'm playing it in the key of A minor. The first chord is D minor, and the melody, the D falling leaves, right? So that's kind of like humming the melody. The melody hits that D on top, the D, F, D minor is a chord, and F is the top melody, and that is the third of that chord. Da, 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 da. And what's beautiful about it is that note on top, this F is the third, and then on the chord G7, that is the 7. So it goes from the 3 to the 7 just because we changed the harmony underneath it. Check this out. Da, 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 da. All of a sudden there is tension. This F, the 7th of G7, will resolve downward. Da, da, da. And it goes to the 3 of C. Again, check out this motion. D minor, G7 to C major 7 is a 2-5-1, a very common progression in music, and specifically a cell we want to be aware of in jazz. D minor 7, G7, you can play it as a shell chord if you wanted to. So you have this motion of the melody. Check out the melody again. La, Si, Do, Fa. Okay, the 7 resolve. Sol, La, Si, Mi, Mi. Ooh, something beautiful just happened, which is when I resolve it to the note E, it's the 3rd, and then when I went to play the chord F major 7, the 4, Mi became the 7th of this note, of this E, right? So we have again, Fa, Mi, and then we have, so from the top, La, Si, Do, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Mi, Mi, right? And then Fa, Sol, La, Re. What happens here is we play a B half diminished E7. You can play this shell chord if you like. What I want to hear here is the motion we're headed toward A minor. So Fa, Sol, La, Re. Again, the 3rd of B half diminished to the 7. And then we have this chromatic thing, Mi, Fa dièse, Sol dièse, Do. And again, the 3rd of A minor. So the melody always kind of plays this beautiful motion from the 3 to the 7 of the next chord, 3 to the 7, 3 to the 7 to the 3 again. So we have almost two melodies in this song here. We have this fa, mi, re, do, 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 do. Beautiful descending melody. And we have this other melody, da da da, da da da, da da da, do da. So we have almost two melodies here that are super beautiful and super diatonic, and they're very much sequential. Again, I'm saying it because once we understand and we see the repetition, it's easier to process things. Okay, so la, si, do, sol, la, si, fa, sol, la, mi, fa, diez, sol, diez. That's the other side. Together, la, si, do, fa, sol, la, si, mi, fa, sol, la, re, sol, la, si, mi, fa, sol, sorry, do. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, right, is me really diving in and seeing the fingering, seeing the motion on the framework of C major scale. But I'm seeing it in the context of the melody. So I have the sound, I listened to the song before, I heard Frank Sinatra, I heard Chet Baker, I heard Miles Davis playing the song, I know how it needs to happen. The falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I can hum this melody, so I know the color, but I'm connecting it into this grid of C major scale, and I'm seeing all the elements in this melody. So I think this is a very important approach in music. Again, if you play Happy Birthday, if you play Autumn Leaves, if you play more complex songs, it's always the melody against the harmony. So I really want to urge us, when we're learning songs, when we're checking out harmony, we want to understand what's happening there. Let's have a close look at the harmony here as well. Okay, let's have a close look at the harmony. We have no accidentals in this chart, and so we know we're either in the key of A minor or C major. In this specific song, there's a beautiful motion between those two centers. We actually start with C major. D minor is the 2 of C major. Why? Because C and the second note is D. It's a minor chord, so this is a 2 going to the 5, G7. Again, even if I notice, I still listen carefully and I feel it. I sing the bass, re, sol, do, and I feel the sound. I connect emotionally. I try to tag the information. So re, 2, 5, and I sing it 5, 1, going to the 4, F major. So we have 2, 5, 1, going to the 4. It's a 2, 5, 1, a key of C, and then the 4. Okay, and then we have this B half diminished to E7. Now, E7 is not in the key of C major. So what's happening here? We are doing this motion to A minor. We have a 2, 5, a scale of 2, 5 going to A minor. Now, I'm playing this shape of A minor to get A minor 6 because I think it's a beautiful sound. Again, harmonically, we have a 2, 5, 1 in the key of C major, and then a 4, then a 2, 5, 1 in the key of A minor. This is the first A section of the song. When we're listening to it, when we're processing what's happening against the melody, I can also try to tag that. Da, 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 2, 5, 2, do, da, do, 1, I'm in the key of C major. Do, 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 day, starting the transition into A minor. Da, do, da, big time, I'm in A minor. The autumn leaves drift by my window. Right, I'm connecting it to the sounds and the melody. The falling leaves, again, just humming against the chords of red and gold. You don't have to know the lyrics, but it definitely helps for the cadences. What I'm trying to see here and what I'm trying to explore is me listening very carefully and articulating to myself exactly the harmonic progression. This song is not crazy complicated, but there will be songs that it's significantly harder. So we still need to break it down. The process of what we're talking about, understanding the melody, seeing how the melody is around the center of the song, feeling the notes and understanding harmonically when it moves from a major tonality to minor tonality, how it feels and how it looks. These are the kind of processes you want to have when you're learning a song. The melody is sort of like a light tower that guides us through the harmony. So for us in jazz context and just in songs in general, to be able to improvise, to be able to explore and process that, it's a very important point to know it. Now, one more thing that I would suggest when we're trying to learn these songs is trying to play the melody in time, slowly but in time. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, So a few things happened, right? I counted I counted the time. I articulated where we are, but I also tapped 2 and 4 because this is sort of like the sound of jazz. It's a part of understanding where things are and being comfortable with that syncopation. And I only played the melody. I didn't do anything, but it still sounds cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, da, chord, 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 chord. So this is a little bit of the next step. You know the melody, you understand the relationship, you feel the connection to the song and the chords, and then when you have the moment that in this melody it's a little easier, you have a little bit of a pause, you can fill in with chords. And this is what I like to call as fake chord melody, where I'm playing the melody and I'm filling in. So it's another step in processing, right? I need to know the melody really well. I need to know the chords really well. I need to hear how they sound. I need to understand the time and the pulse. And then interesting things can happen. A lot of times when people try to learn these songs, they really skip a lot of these points and elements. And again, I can't express how important that is with simple songs, with complex songs, understanding, trying to sing the melody, trying to take our time. You know, Autumn Leaves is a deep, beautiful song. So if that's not comfortable, it's totally fine. There's a lot there that we can absorb, a lot of information. So I really want to urge us all to take our time, to understand the center, to understand how it sounds, how it feels, and then trying to play the song, trying to play the melody, trying to hum the chords, hum the melody against the chords, trying to do all these things to understand music better. Now, the good news is, after you do that with this song, after you do a couple more songs, this will get easier. And that means that you understand, and you're not only memorizing fingerings, you know, to play the melody. It's like fret number 7, fret number. No, you want to know how it sounds and how it feels. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.